Bună! Hei, voi ce căutați aici? Vă știți la ce vă uitați? Sunt Andra, particip la World Class Competition 2018, sunt în top 10 barman români și sunt într-o relație complicată cu Don Julio Tequila.
Only one that represents seaside and it's salty, and I really love seaside, although I grew up in the mountains, so that was really nice for me to can express the other part of my life. And also I will use 20 milliliters of homemade vermouth, which you can taste if you want at the end. And because the cocktail is called Penny Royal Tea, I used some poppy seed syrup, which I made last week. It's important to know that because I had to leave it at reposado, let's say like that, for a whole week so the aromas could blend in really well. And in the end, of course, the Peugeot bitters. And the second drink, which is called Dragon Dust. No, sorry. This one is called Penny Royal Tea, and the second one is called Dragon Dust. Yeah, I said it right, of course. Now I return to my first love. This is why in the presentation video I say that I'm in a complicated relationship with Don Julio Tequila, because sometimes I might cheat a bit. So I will use Don Julio Reposado because it's soft. And I love the aftertaste, which is a bit sweet, caramel, vanilla aroma is really melting down my throat. And it's actually a twist on a sour. So this is why I will also use 20 ml of lemon juice. And the really interesting part of this drink is this runny honey, truffle runny honey. So it's a honey syrup infused with truffles. And it's in a really special bottle here. This pink flamingo means something special for me for a month now, because I'm starting to work with another team, another bar, after Flare Angel, of course. And they have this symbol, so I want them to show my love. At Flare Angel, we really love to friendly educate our guests, so we try to make classic drinks and also twist on classic drinks, because they're kind of afraid to try new things. They are just used to the regular stuff they find in the city. And this is why this one is a twist on a Manhattan, and it was really successful in the bar. Because I was raised with dragons, I wanted to move somewhere where it's hot. So I'm now living in a jungle called Bucharest. And lucky for me, I got to a place full of monkeys. Because Flare Angel is a bar that has 5 monkeys. One of them is here on this lovely apron made by Paul. Yeah, this is the funny one, and is the one that is representing me. I know that on the live, oh, it does show, okay. This one is me in the future, I guess. I don't know, Paul, you should explain that. Flare Angel has this story that when you go to a certain wall, because nowadays people like to just watch a wall, you know, on Facebook, they watch the wall all day. So, only is the story, of course. So we have 5 monkeys on the wall, and we tell everybody to point the monkey that they can relate to. So this is the monkey that I can relate to. Okay, great. Great. So this is why I chose this apron, and I'm really thankful for it, by the way. Because the dragon dust isn't complete without the dust itself. I have here dehydrated Campari that I will use as a garnish. And before I prepare the drinks, I just want to prepare my glasses. For the Penny Royal Tea, of course, is the cup, the teacup. And for Dragon Dust is this black glass, which is kind of mysterious, because I feel like my town is a little bit mysterious itself. It has a lot of old buildings that you don't really know what you will find in it. And also, I find myself a little bit mysterious because I don't show from the start everything I have to offer. Of course, it's not applicable to this competition because I want to show it all. Okay, so we will start with the penny royalty. I'm just gonna throw it real good. I chose to throw it because the aeration will give the strength that Talisker needs in this combination to shine that salty seaside aromas.
3 minutes, Andra.
Okay, thank you. And because it is royal, I'm gonna just put some edible glitter here. It's snowing with royalty. So this one is ready. And of course, my twist on Don Julio Sour. This one will also have a surprise in the end. As I want to use a little bit of foam, it's made out of the other favorite thing I like to drink, which is Negroni, and some hibiscus tea. Sorry. Yes. Now here comes the dust. Ready? Now for the final touch for the penny royalty is the absinthe, which I find really, really good in combination with the salty Talisker. But I don't want it to feel too much. So just two, how do you say, two splashes, yeah, of absinthe. And my coaster for the dragon dust, it's a mirror because my motto is that you should first take a look at yourself and then judge the others.
45 seconds.
This is available while drinking and also in life in general. Thank you very much. Yay!
Nu vă lăsați, dați tot ce puteți din voi și have fun! Mă numesc Florin Traistaru, sunt din Cluj, fac băuturi foarte bune.
Welcome to my bar. My bar is a steampunk, and for you, today I prepare just a little movie. So, this is a steampunk bar in Cluj, and for you, I prepare also. It's a steampunk bar with full of pipes, copper, and a lot of heads and a lot of design elements with the steampunk ingredients and some steampunk and some industrial design. So also for you, because it's the Joben means the top hat. What is better to represent the bar with Cardu, the journey. with some Romanian brandy, 20 ml. To have a little balance, I have here a blend between lime and lemon to have the perfect sourness. 20 ml. Here I have pear and pineapple puree roasted in the pan and until it's caramelized and with some maple syrup. Put in the blend. I put maple syrup to have a woody flavor because the journey is a contrast of flavors and aromas from the cardu, and 20 ml of red vermouth with roasted walnut to put in evidence the flavors of nuts in the cardu. Now we give a good shake. I choose cardu as a main ingredient because I want to show the power and the strength and the fact that pioneer woman Elizabeth and Helen Cumming, they show what can do in a domain what is dominated by men. So this drink is for all the women who want to drink to make something different in their life. So good shake. I will serve in a cup in the shape of your head. So the name is The Journey because we'll offer you a journey in the world of Jules Verne. And now I put some pineapple leaves and dehydrated pear. So, gentlemen, this is the journey. And the second one is the city where I come from, the Cluj, a city full of life, good vibes. A city full of students with academic, city of Cluj-Napoca. So, for this drink, the better way is to represent my town. It's the main ingredient. I made here a blend with, between Kettle One vodka and Tanqueray number 10 gin. A blend between Tanqueray number 10 and Kettle One. So 40 ml. Five minutes. To add some perfume, because here I have the strength, the body, and the character of the drink. 25 ml of elderflower liqueur. To balance the flavors, I put 20 ml of lime juice. Three dashes of oleo saccharum, but it's made with peel, grape peel, because we have Tanqueray to put in evidence the citrus note, with cast sugar and some leaf, how do you say, leuștean? And we want to put some color. What I put this color to put lovage leaves. To put in take in evidence the color of my town, the buildings and the architecture. So only just a small tablespoon of beetroot juice. A good shake. This is the Cosmopolis. Polis from the Greek name, which means city. So this is my city, the Cosmopolis, Cluj-Napoca. So. Because the Jobben Bistro is in Cluj, this is a gear, a metal gear. We have a beautiful cloth. It's also a strong drink for the beginning. We have the sweetness, the sourness to balance. We have the color. You will find the long taste of Kettle One vodka and the beautiful strength of Tanqueray number 10 gin. And also here, I have a garnish with some beetroot for the color and some grapefruit peel. So, my dear guests, this is my the Cosmopolis, a world-class drinks. Enjoy.
Consider că este ceva magnific din punctul meu de vedere să am ocazia să fiu în finală. Sunt David Cristi Albert, reprezint Barmanii Fără Graniță și sper să mă susțineți la World Class Competition.
My name is Albert. Nice to have you here at the World Class Competition. Nice to meet you, Paul. It was a pleasure. Here you have some water. So, actually, I have a friend who, at the beginning, when he heard that I will be in the final, he named me like, I represent the Frontier Bartenders. So, it was a perfect choice for me because I really like to travel all around the world, and I'm thinking if you travel, you will have an experience. So, because, as he called me a Frontier Bartender, I would like to use bullet rye whiskey, Frontier, infused with figs. I like figs because I work in Italy, and the figs were used as the first sweetness around the world. So, at the beginning, this is one of the first rye whiskey, a perfect experience. So, during my travel in Italy, I'm working in Venice, and it's really experience all the country, all the culture that you can immerse them and learn from them. It's a nice opportunity, and one of my pleasure to say like that, it's eating different kind of cheese. And I will use mascarpone cream because I want to give my cocktail a small bodiness. And one of my favorite cocktail will be Ramos Gin Fizz, and this is kind of like a small twist. So in the mascarpone cream, I put heavy cream, egg white, and also a little bit of whiskey. I will use date syrup for the sweetness, because every time a girl comes at the bar, I want to give her a date, maybe or something. This is date syrup. Yeah. So I'm not working in Harry's bar, but I'm still selling plenty of Bellinis over there in Venice. So I will use a few drops of peach bitter just to immerse with the whiskey, because Bullet Rye, I'm thinking, it has that smoky and leather taste at the final. So the peach will enhance the flavor of the palate. let's shake this cocktail till the end. I want to give a hard shake because I really want to have a dilution and to give also buttness to the cocktail. I learned to use this egg because since I was a child, actually, I wasn't supposed to become a bartender and I wasn't expecting. I was supposed to become a priest. So, yeah, yeah, they're kind of the same. But I always had this kind of question, which one was the first, the egg or the chicken? And due to the legacy, I always ask, like, as you say, Paulo, they are kind of the same, but there are always mysteries behind everything, behind the disparition of, uh, of Augustus Bullet. So the whole right question, this is called actually the Adam's apple, but the forbidden fruit was actually a quince. So I have a mix of apple and quince sparkling. I just want to top it. Stir it. So, because the top of my bar in Rose Bar is covered in marble, I'm using this marble table with a small date. And usually in Italy, we give different kind of cicchettis. They are type of aperitifs. And this one is really significant for us. They are dates with mascarpone cream. And top it with some nuts. This is Adamo, in the name of Adam, but the Italian one, like an Italian version. So, I'm coming from Brasov, a mountainous city, and since I was a child, I have plenty of experience over there. But I have to keep traveling, so I will use Johnny Walker, blend the Scotch Gold label. After all, John Walker was really a traveling man. So what's interesting, there is a connection between, he was also buying after his father sold the farmer, he had an Italian grocery. So I found myself in a connection between Johnny Walker and all the traveling that I have in Italy. In my city, like near my blocks, there were plenty of pear trees, so it was a pleasure for me to collect all the pears when I was a child. So I used pear juice to also give a buttonness. It's a pleasure for me, and I'm really finding myself when I'm traveling into the forest. So I want to use some nuts and pine syrup. Yeah, pine and nut syrup. Also, I will use some egg white. And I will use a herbal and spice liqueur because I want you to feel the spiciness and also to help the Johnny Walker to release all the flavors.
Am intrat în ultimele 5 minute, Albert.
Just want to taste it, you see? I will mix them a little bit so I can win a little bit of time. And now the magic. I usually prefer to do shakes because I'm thinking that the dilution and the aeration is the perfect one for a cocktail. So, as I say, I'm coming from Montenegro, so I will use this kind of tree. And just a little bit of ice. And as a garnish, I will use some thin leaves and also a pear slice. Gentlemen, here you have Brit of the mountain. Yeah, Brit of the mountain. Yeah. It was really a pleasure for me to be here, and also what I learned from this competition even if you're not in the final, you just have to keep working and traveling if you want to learn more things. Thank you so much.
Am vrut încă de la început să particip din primul an în care am intrat în industria asta. Sunt Andrei din Oradea și particip la World Class Romania 2018. Mama, te iubesc!
Dear judges, I'm so happy to be here today and I'm honored that you are in front of me. Would you like some water? No, you're good? Yeah? You too? Absolutely. You too? You're fine. Paul? You are very welcome. So the drinks that I will serve to you today will be a representation of my bar where I work at and also of my city where I'm from, the city of Oradea. And my first drink of the day will be called Cuisine Martini, and you'll understand in a few seconds why it is called that. The bar where I work at now used to be only a coffee shop before I started working there. And so when I went there, we turned it into a cocktail bar / restaurant. And we wanted to push that and to emphasize that by adding more elements from the kitchen into the bar. And so I have 50 mils of infused Kettle 1 with porcini mushrooms. I've chosen to infuse the vodka with porcini because porcini are a little bit sweet. They're very smooth in their texture, and so is Kettle 1, buttery. And also, I've pan-fried them before infusing with butter to make them even softer. Further on, I will add 15 mils of dry vermouth infused with Parmesan. And because the ingredients that I have used so far are very heavy and potent in their aroma, I wanted to add something light to balance the drink out. And so I've made a thyme syrup, 20 mils. And to bind everything together, I will use 2 dashes of cardamom bitters. The bar where I work at is a modern retro bar that gives you that feel, that vibe, that 1930s, 1940s vibe. And what is more classic than a martini cocktail? And so I hope that my drink will stand the test of time and will become a classic drink and synonymous with the bar where I work at. And the same, I consider myself to be a modern bartender with a retro twist. So I think it represents me and the bar very well. My second drink of the day is the Golden Alley. And I've chosen to name it that way because, of course, I will use Johnny Walker Gold, 60 mils. And because Johnny Gold is very has many aromas and many sides to it, I've chosen to create a mixture out of sherry wine, honey wine, and mastija liqueur to emphasize the honey notes, the dried fruit notes, and also make it more complex by adding a nutty note and an earthy kind of aroma to it with the mastija. And so I have 20 mils of that. Further on, I will use 10 mils of oleosaccharum. And as you can see, most of my ingredients are yellow because Johnny Gold and the oleosaccharum. And so the story of the drink is It's also called that because my bar is situated on a street which has cubic stone. And in the summer, especially in the summer when the sun is very bright, if you look closely, it actually gives you the impression that the road is golden. And so it's an alley type road. And it represents, it's a defining feature of my hometown. To balance everything out and to boost the aroma, I will add 3 dashes of saline solution. Saline solution. The ratio, 18 to 20. Yeah. And for a little bit of more complexity, and to add, to balance the sweetness, I will add some Campari, 15 mils. I will throw my drink because I want all the aromas to come out.
Organizarea? Un ceai. Așa e. Așa e, așa e. Cum e? Bine? Bravo. Bine?
Time, please. I will stir my first drink, the Cuisine Martini. And you may have noticed that I have a special glass on my right and on your left. Another defining feature of my hometown is that it is also nicknamed the capital of Art Nouveau architecture. It is the city in Romania which has the most Art Nouveau architecture. And so I wanted to transmit that to you by creating a special glass. And through its color and through its features on it, I think it transmits that very well. There we go. And to finish this drink, a couple of dash of sprays of absinthe. And as a garnish, a pat from a mushroom. Time. Perfect. There we go. The garnish of my second drink will be a elderflower and lime foam. And a few drops of bitters for a little bit more complexity. And also, I want you to imagine that those drops of bitters are my footsteps walking down the Golden Alley. And I want you, gentlemen, to follow in my footsteps and discover my city and my bar. And because you couldn't go to Oradea today, I thought that I should bring Oradea to you guys and my bar to you guys through my drinks. And also by showing you how beautiful our city is. This is one of the most beautiful palaces in Oradea. It's Art Nouveau, and I think it goes well with the story and the the glass. I hope you enjoy it.
You were to understand the last of your life, I would say is to never forget that taking risks is the best thing you can do in your life.
Good evening, good day. It depends on every part of the world that you are in. Okay, my name is Paul. Everybody calls me Victor. I'm so happy to be here today with you guys. And first of all, I have to solve one small issue. Okay? Guys, it's the World Class Finals, so come on. Okay, I hope you don't mind, but today I brought an assistant with me because I can't manage by myself. His name is James. He will be supervising the bar. Okay, you can ask him questions if you want, it's fine. So as I say, my name is Paul, everybody calls me Victor, feel free to call me whatever you like. First, I'm currently working at Charlie. Yeah, one of the biggest whiskey bars in Romania. Here I brought you some pictures to make an idea. So we're over there, we're a family. Dino, you can join us. Okay. So we're a big family there. Awesome guest bartending programs, awesome whiskey collections, awesome guests. Also, we're hiring if you guys are interested. So Paul can tell you more about that. We used to be brothers in arms, but then he got rich and famous. Yeah, then he got rich and famous and he went on. Okay, so working in a whiskey bar, obviously the base ingredient that I've chose for the first cocktail, which represents Charlie, is vodka. Clearly. I'll give you gentlemen some water to hydrate. Good. I got this inspiration for this cocktail by a man who is called Jean-Sébastien Robiquet. I think you know him. I do know him very well. Yeah. Back in 2004, he decided to make something unique with unique ingredients. And the result was Ciroc Ultra Premium Vodka, the world's first ultra premium vodka. And also Charlie in 2014 was the grand opening. Yeah. And soon, both of them, also Ciroc and Charlie, grow to be one of the best in the industries. Ciroc became one of the best vodkas of the world. Charlie became one of the best bars in Romania. Okay. The cocktail name is Beauty Behind the Madness. It's Beauty Behind the Madness. I can relate that with the So Charlie is my birthplace as a bartender. The family there took me in as one of their own. They helped me grow, and I am, because of them, you can see some of them in the pictures. Because of these people, I am sitting in front of you, the man that I am today. Okay, so now I will talk to you about my actual birthplace. It's called Turda. It's near the heart of Transylvania, a small town. The cocktail that represents the city is called Potaissa, which is the Latin name for Turda, because Turda was founded in the 1st century when the Romans came to our country for the salt, for salt mining, because salt was one of the most important things in the empire. It was used in trading and also commercial values. You have pictures here. Also the salt, which we will be using today, it's actually extracted from here, from this and this. As a base for this cocktail, I used Talisker 10 years old because of I wanted to emphasize my Latin origins and the salt. We today actually still hold the salt close to our heart. And two ingredients, very simple. And I prepared a mied, which is inspired by all the ingredients most used by the Romans. So it's honey, wine. It's a Chardonnay actually made on top of the still existing salt mine. One's here. Yeah, you should visit it. It's spectacular. So I was telling you about the wine. It's made on top of that. And garlic, basil, and a pinch of salt. Actually, the salt is from the mine.
Am intrat în ultimele 5 minute, Paul.
Thank you. Resemblance to my, you will probably ask why I use Talisker. Because it's, it's resemblance to my origins. And also one of the 14 springs that gives water to the Superstar single malt is coming from a hill. Yeah. Never heard of it? Superstar single malt? Come on. It's Talisker. Of course it's a Superstar. The hill which the rivers flow from is called Hawk Hill. And also Turdar, it's called Hawk Hill because they have a lot of birds of prey there and they nest there. So Turdas Gorges, you can see them here, are home to one unique type of eagle that's only 2 families remaining in Europe. So they both live there. For this first drink, so I thought this was a really nice resemblance because we all love birds of prey. The first cocktail, I would just throw it a little bit because we don't want a lot of dilution, only to give it some air. The ingredients of the first drink is a nut liquor, Italian Amaro, Ciroc Ultra Premium Vodka French Vanilla, which is a blend of Madagascar vanilla, infused with Nutella using a sous vide technique, which we borrowed from the kitchen. And also Ciroc Ultra Premium Vodka, the original. The other one we have to get as cold as possible. So we're just gonna stir it a little bit more dilution. Delicious. So I was telling you at the beginning about the uniqueness of the ingredients in Ciroc and the uniqueness of Charlie. So I decided as an inspiration to make a serving for this cocktail that's unique. So that's why I had custom made these eggs, which I kept in dry ice to be cold. And I will serve this cocktail in the eggs. As a garnish, we're just going to use a little bit of bergamot spray, which we made using hydrosol technique.
Intrăm în ultimul minut.
And the other one, as a serving, I had a coaster made, an edible coaster. You can actually eat this. Yes, if you dare, you can eat it. Yes, taste it. Here's a bite, yeah. Okay. And as a serve, the small glass which is previously chilled. Okay, and a small piece of basil. And just to bring the atmosphere in the Turda salt mine, a little bit of hot water. Now's the time for applause, guys. You can sense it. Okay. And here you can take this on a nice walk. Enjoy. Thank you. Thank you.
Am zis că trebuie să trecem la următorul nivel, bucătăria. Ștefan Ciprian, o să facem niște cocktailuri clasice, reinterpretate, duse la următorul nivel. Băieți, am făcut din nou Constanța mândră. Hello guys, my name is Ciprian. I represent Constanța. I represent Barissimo Cocktail Bar. I developed two cocktails for you today. One representing the way we do cocktails at Barissimo, and the other representing the city and our synergy with the people that live over there. So let's break the ice with a cocktail that represents the city. Represents the city, but also represents the nations that are over there. So there are many nations that shape the ways of the town. We've been shaping each other in times of peace. We've shaped each other in times of war, and interwar we gamble together at the casino, which is the main symbol of my city, and it's on the coaster that I will use today. Okay, so thinking about my drink, it would have seemed natural to use Talisker to highlight the saltiness of the Black Sea, which I did. I had many Taliskers thinking about this drink, but I decided to use Tanqueray number 10, which is a gin. And why is that? Because we are what we are thanks to all the nations that came together in our city, in the same way that Tanqueray number 10 gin is the most prestigious gin in the world thanks to the whole ingredients that came around from the whole world. Okay, from a local orchard, from my mainland, I have this apricot compote, which we blended at Barissimo and serve it as a topping on the ice cream in the summer times. It's just regular apricots with their juice inside blended all together. From the Arabic shop, a few blocks away from the bar that I work in, I bought some dates. They are like really big, the Arabic type. So I turned them into a paste, very thick. And I will use a tablespoon of that. For my next ingredient, a worldwide known ingredient, orange flower water. This one is imported strictly from Istanbul by my brother Kerim, a Turk guy. So I'm gonna use 2 milliliters of that. Okay, it's good. So now that you met our neighbors, let me tell you how welcoming Constanța is, because it's truly a hospital city, full of hospitality, I mean. Okay, not a hospital. Okay. Okay. We are so welcoming that we will invite even the Mexican to be part of our city. By using this Ancho Reyes chili liquor, it's my open invitation to that people. So, was that red? Red. It adds a kick to my drink. As you can see, kitchen elements are a big part of the way we do cocktails at Barissimo. But let me push the things a little bit further. For my second cocktail, I will use a poached pear puree. Yeah, for my second cocktail. Okay. So this one is usually done with pears, red wine, spices, and some sugar, all boiled together for like 40 minutes. But I decided to change a little bit the rules. So I switched the red wine with white wine, but not just a regular wine, not a regular white wine. It's a white wine made out of red grapes. I think that adds a little more uniqueness to my ingredient. And because we have a sweet part, I decided to use agrodolce. Agrodolce, it's a sauce made in Italy. It's made with vinegar, it's made with honey, and also wine, and you can add to that a fruit. I decided to use as a fruit the seaback tern. I know it grows in a lot of places, the seaback tern, but in Dobrogea, my mainland, the county where Constanța is from, it grows spontaneously, doesn't have to be cultivated, so it makes it very particular for that place. It even has the name inside, it's sea, and I'm from the sea.
4 minute jumate.
So 10 meals of that. Now the philosophy behind my spirit is not that complicated. I like polenta. Polenta is a substitute for bread in Romania. I eat polenta with almost everything. So I decided to use a spirit that uses the same main ingredient, corn. So Bulei Bourbon fulfill my recipe. 50 mils of that. The name of the cocktail and the way you do cocktails at Barissimo by adding kitchen elements to our cocktails, which is our signature, is the reappearance. Because I like to hide the name of one ingredient in the name of the cocktail, which is pear, in the reappearance, but also to pay my respect to the guy that brought to life a spirit that after 150 years, after Augustus Buleit made it, he had the guts to bring it back to life, and that for me is a sign that you can always stand up for your legacy, no matter of the years that have been passed. So fresh ice in my tins and a double shake.
Eu zic că cartonul ăla să-l scoți de acolo. Ai găsit? Și NO2 erau acolo.
There's one more nation that I would like to talk about in this cocktail that represents all the nations from my city, which are the Greeks, because in the beginning we are a Greek colony. So I want to pay my tribute to those people because they started for us. They saw the opportunity, and I want to use something from the Greek people, and that is a secret that they use in their dishes. Maybe you would expect it ouzo or mastica or I don't know, olives, but I have another thing for you. They use fresh herbs and sweet spices in their dishes. It's a combo that make their plates more particular. So I decided to use this pairing in my cocktail, which is grated cinnamon and fresh parsley. I'm gonna open a little bit more the aromas. And serve it up with a straw and the same level of the parsley so you can get the flavor. Can I serve it up? Okay, thank you. The reappearance is gonna have the poached pear as a garnish because I want you to see the elements that are inside of my cocktail. Nailed it. Okay, so poached pear. Thank you. And on top of that, fresh grated pimenta because I like the complexity of the agrodolce, but I want to cut the edge of the vinegar with the spiciness of the pimenta. Thank you so much.
Hello, gentlemen. It's so good to finally be in front of you. So today I will present you two drinks. The first one will be related to my hometown. First, sorry, can I offer you some water? Still or sparkling? Okay. So I can start talking right now. The first drink is related to the fact that my hometown is in Oltenia. And if there are two things that define that area, it is the tense that we use, which is perfect simple, hence the name, and the temperament and looks of girls from Oltenia. So we are known to be pretty, but feisty. Okay. For this, I chose Zacapa. I seem to have drinks too much coffee. Okay. And to represent the fact that we are bittersweet, I'm gonna use a coffee liquor infused inside the kettle one with the Bolivian origin coffee and the tonka. Yeah. Up next, represent our sweetness, which I'm a strong, independent woman, but I got it. Okay. Peaches, baked peach puree, with a touch of chili tincture, because we are spicy also. Something sweet, something nice. Okay. And a bit of sourness. 5 mils. Okay, to balance it. And now we mix it up. Okay. These peaches struggle a bit. But I wanted it to be thicker, so I didn't turn it into syrup. Okay. And to finish it off, we've got a chili, because in an argument with a girl from Oltenia, we always have the last word. And you have to be sure it's gonna sting. Yeah, the next one will be representing my bar. So our description is that we are a storytelling bar, and people come to our place to share stories, relax, unwind. So it happens that on Cinco de Mayo, yeah, I've had a regular come in, and he told me a funny story about his grandma. We were celebrating the dead. And he said that he doesn't drink tequila. So I've decided, yeah, to make him something that he will enjoy. And I kind of deconstructed the margarita because he said he always drank margaritas and wherever he drank them, he didn't like them. He didn't like them, yeah. Yeah, he tried. He tried though. So hi Memo if he's watching. I've used tequila reposado for its flavors. And I've made a bitter with the oranges and coffee. I'm going to use a little bit more. I've infused this in cognac to add more flavor. Okay. Stir it. It's gonna be a stir drink, and I'm gonna top it off with a foam. It's actually a foam made with lime cordial, and I'm gonna have a side dish of edible soil instead of salt, which is made from almonds, yeah, and unsweetened cocoa. Top it off. I'm gonna do a tiny bit of this, and then you can eat it as it is. Please enjoy. Thank you.
In the simplest form, world class is about making people care about where, what, and how they drink. Anyone can make a great drink, but to give an amazing experience is when from someone walks in the door to when they leave your establishment. For me, it's that sense of surprise.
Welcome. My name is Mihai, and today I'm going to be your guide on a journey you're about to take. And our journey starts in the beautiful island of Skolton, more exactly in the Isle of Skye. And there we find Carbos, which, funny enough, is the home of Talisker 10 single malt whiskey, the king of drinks. Now, gentlemen, for a second, I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to let your senses guide you. Yes, definitely. So close your eyes now. Okay. I want you to imagine the waves crashing into the shore. I want you to feel the gentle breeze of the wind gently blowing across your face. Now, our journey is not over just yet, so before you fall asleep, open your eyes, guys. So as you sit there, enjoying the Mauritian breeze, you can't help but notice that the sea is not as blue and as calm and as clear as usual. No, it's actually a bit troubled. But just like this fermented pineapple, it's both sweet and intriguing. And with your feet firmly on the ground, feeling the immense power of the earth, feeling the deep character it has, that is perfectly well represented by this. And this, gentlemen, is a cold-pressed sunflower oil infused with mushrooms and mixed with a beautiful Talisker 10 single malt whiskey. Oh. No problem. Sorry? Yeah. Sorry, you were saying? Cold-pressed sunflower oil and infused with mushrooms. And then it's mixed with Talisker 10 single malt whiskey. Right. Now, of course, I want you to look at your hands now and tell me, what do you see? Look at your hands. What do you see?
I see a very long life. Very long life. A good,
But you're missing the point, guys. You came in in this journey empty-handed. Well, not to worry, empty-handed. I brought extra. And this perfect example of a classic single malt whiskey, the elegant and robust Talisker 10 single malt whiskey, is the piece that ties everything together. Now, there's two things you're always going to find in Scotland. One is beautifully crafted single malt whiskey, and the second is, of course, the wind. And with its help, I'm going to aerate my drink, but without any ice. Now, not to worry, I know what I'm doing. I've done some tests. So, let's hear the waves and the wind working together in perfect harmony. Come on, guys. As you know by now, it's pretty cold in Scotland. And if you don't believe me, here, have a look for yourselves. Guys, it's not the warmest weather there. Even my screen broke because of the cold. It's never warm. Well, there you go. So, as tradition recommends, well, keeping that in mind, I'm just going to wear some gloves as a precaution measure to not catch a cold. But, as tradition recommends, always bring a reminder, a souvenir from your journeys. Because this is a symbol for the people you've met, the places you've seen, and of course, the drinks you've tasted. Now, gentlemen, this drink is meant to be enjoyed by the seaside. But most importantly, is meant to be enjoyed in good company. And as you're about to enjoy your drink, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a fish lands on your rock. Now that's just an amazing end to this journey. And gentlemen, this drink, Maritime Breeze, is the perfect representation of me and my bar, because we at Charlie, we're proud to have over 200 labels of whiskey, amongst which the beautiful Talisker 10 single malt whiskey. And the second is, of course, this pineapple. Because we work in the hospitality industry, we're always trying to find new ways, better ways to make our guests have the best experience. And of course, the symbol for hospitality is the pineapple. So gentlemen, stretch your legs, have a sip of water, because we're about to go on our next journey. You ready? Of course. And our journey starts in the beautiful island, in the beautiful country of course, Romania. Here, my friend. And here you're going to find a village where life is simple yet unforgettable. A village where people like farmers and working class heroes are still the heart and the spirit of this beautiful country. And that being said, this, my dear friends, straight from my grandfather's sheep that he used to pasture for the last 20 years, is this sheep cheese, which I turned into a syrup using a local wine made just a few miles from their house. Sheep cheese, yes. But of course, the excellent, the quintessence of barrel-aged tequila, Don Julio Reposado, is the key here. And this is fat washed with what we call slanina. Well, slanina is a pork ham. This, again, is sourced, a pork ham. Pork ham, yes. It's sourced locally, this time from my grandmother's little farm. But the missing key of the puzzle is the legacy of Don Julio Gonzalez himself, the trendsetter and the game changer and the leader of tequila that we know today, and that is Don Julio Reposado. And gentlemen, as you sit there and enjoy the scenery and you take it all in, you miss the time. And that's when the sun starts to set and the sky starts to change its beautiful color. Well, this cocktail named Ejido, yes, Ejido, represents very well the place that I'm from, and myself. Because when we're talking about this drink, we're talking about family, we're talking about love, we're talking about heritage. And of course, these are the key components to, in my belief, in a drink. Perfect. And this glassware represents perfectly what my family stands for. And that is nurture, that is care, and that is tradition. And this glassware has been in our family for generations now. And one thing that my family always believes in is always being proud of who you are and being proud of your roots. And that being said, on the glass, you see this sheep wool. And that is a symbol of the farmers, what farmers used to wear on cold evening nights. But just to end everything on a fresh note, this green apple spray, because in my village, you're always going to find green apples, and I wanted this to be a part in my drink. So gentlemen, please enjoy. Thank you. Cheers, man.
In the simplest form, world class is about making people care about where, what, and how they drink. Anyone can make a great drink, but to give an amazing experience is when from someone walks in the door to when they leave your establishment. For me, it's that sense of surprise.
Hello, my name is Vlad Cora, and today I'm going to attempt something that has never been attempted in a bartending competition. I'm gonna try to I'm gonna rap my speech. Taste is a perception and waste is in the mind, something that's so close associated with a waste of time. Yet oddity shows character by daring to find a way to breathe new life into a menu that's constantly surprising. You bet your taste buds I'm about to represent similar sentiment and tempt the senses with the drink that's meant to reflect how anything can be transformed from the oddest sources. Yes, the pun's intended. Yes, it's pretty awesome. Alright, back on focus. Oddity stands for boldness. That's why I chose to burn the glass with absinthe as it smolders. I'm reaching for that Tanqueray. We're all gin lovers. I dare to say that oddity has brought a fresh feel to the market today. A will to innovate coincidentally again to the citric element that's present within this gin. Now here's a story most of you will cringe to hear. So many Prosecco bottles get thrown away each year after being used so little. Well, I thought that was a shame, so I took cardamom cordial to up the game and gave it a flowery tint, meant to empower the senses and to stop the oppression that these bottles were so needlessly facing. And since oddity's a friend of the environment and I kinda have a thing for rescuing ingredients, I started thinking, what about all those pineapple cores that so many dispose of right out the door, even though they still have flavor? What if I took a major stand, put in some coriander shrub and handle it the way they did before refrigeration was a thing? Could that maybe save the course from all the needless endangerment? But please remember that. Please remember that. I'm not aiming on a compliment, but simply sought accomplishing what oddity's been doing. I'm glad to be a part of it. I hope to keep pursuing, pushing forward, innovating, help it fuel the transformations. I thank you for the patience and allowing me to state my case. I guess that's all that's left to say is no waste, just taste, let yourself be the change. That's my first part. All right. All right. From the top. All right. Join me for a second as I begin descending to the center of myself, where I always keep the essence of my city. So many shades of pretty. I'm really glad I've got the opportunity to take you all with me to the hills and the plains where the grapes grow ripe, where good friends and good music go together all night, where time is suspended by the scent of linden trees, dandelions in the sun, get the blessings that they need from the 7 hills of hope. My home that holds the feeling that I'm never quite alone. My home that helps me grow and molded me in many ways into the the man that's honored to be standing here today. So please believe me when I say I burn for Yash with a passion. Rise from the ashes, return to my craft with a love that's everlasting. Love that keeps me searching, love that helps me work like I'm caught up in a whirlwind whenever I start to stir up. And I hope I'm not a burden. Have your ears started hurting? If not, let me take you all back even further to the days where little Vlad was just a toddler, hanging out with his grandmother at the countryside in spring while she was cooking in the garden. I was still so into nature, so intrinsically that they're forever part of me, dearly held in memory. Sometimes it's really all I need, really all I need. Whenever I smell Ovage, I can see my grandma's hands, and even though it's a mirage, and I remember how it felt. Sorry, what? Really good? Can I hear some encouragement, please? From the 7 hills of hope, my home that holds the feeling that I'm never quite alone. My home that helped me grow and molded me in many ways into the man that's honored to be standing here today. So please believe me when I say I chose to write my story, not for thoughts of fame or glory. I just knew I had to do it because memory is music, and how someone can create a symphony in a glass. That's how it is for me, reaching back into the past to find that beauty once again. Let it flow into the world. It's like diving underwater, not for beauty or for girls, but for feeling more connected. That's how I want to live, and to anyone I serve, that is what I want to give, and that's what I want to leave, an impression that will hold, and a little bit of taste from the 7 hills of hope.
5 minutes.
All right, that's enough talk. It's time to make some drinks. So please, give it up. Thank you very much.
This is who you are, for real. There's no turning back. You cannot cheat time. Sunt Emi, sunt Blaj Francesc Emanuel. Particip la Diageo World Class România 2018. Damn!
Olá, Paulo. Estou feliz em vê-lo. E hardo por ter você como jurado. Salut, Paul. Mă bucur să te revăd foarte mult. Și mai onorat să te am ca și juriu din nou. Salut. And, of course, this is oriboshi with wooden sand. Yes, in order to cleanse your hands, maybe your face, to refresh your senses, and to truly enjoy the presentation. Hello. Yeah, exactly. Okay. And, of course, I know there is a tradition to give something before the presentation, but you see this particular UV, Hisco, and Joy Water, has its own flavors, of natural flavors of dreams and hidden notes of oxygen with a long finish of panda tears. Yes, I call it the fancy water. Okay. So I'm a simple man. My biggest weaknesses are nature and map. I'm telling you to follow them along the presentation. Yeah. So map, mythology, art, and psychology. And these two things perfectly together because the greatest form of art is nature itself. And I want to give you the recipes of my homemades, yes, in case you are wondering the specifications. So I come from Iași, which is a northern city. And the most sensitive place for me is Bucium, a forest right at the entry of the town, where you can see, the city, yes, right beneath your feet. This is the one. And lots of memories were born there. I used to run a lot because, you see, I was 105 kilograms. Yeah, this was me. Yeah, last summer, 54. Yeah. And also there, I proposed to my former fiancée, which pretty much spiced up my life. Like this Woody the Woodpecker mix. Privately. Yes. So pineapple, coffee beans, and the blend of spices. And another ingredient that I really grew up with is this borscht. Yes, it's a fermented cereal juice that we traditionally sour the soup with. And it is well known that as Moldavians, eat at least 1 or 2 soups a day. So thank you, mom and dad, for giving me soup every day. Shout out to you. Yes, actually, they woke me up with this morning with the soup, so grazie. Okay. And in order to wash the acidity of the drink, you have to keep the sourness to balance. I used this apple juice, yes, to balance the sweetness that comes from the syrup. That gives us oily and nutty flavors. Oily and creamy textures and nutty flavors. Okay. And to commemorate my first love for spirits, whiskey, I chose Singleton. Why? Not only because those fruits and spices plays a really nice texture, a really nice harmony to my mouth. Not only because the association with the wood that traps my heart and gives me exactly what I want to the drink, and of course, not only the association with the distillery has its own forest with its own story to tell, yes, but because I love it and I enjoy it very much, yes. Okay, so that's why I'm going to let it rest and meditate. Okay, so having my life spiced up too much, I said I want more from life. So that's why I moved in Bucharest, where I become an Origo team member. Yes. During the day, it's a coffee shop, and from 8 p.m., we put this lamp on the front of the window, and when we turn it on, we make our guests know that Origo by Night is on air. So when I talk about Origo by Night, I talk about evolution. I talk about my pride in working with an uprising list of Diageo spirits. And I talk about the 6 senses. So we have 6 senses. So per season, we make a menu which concretes 1 sense. For example, these are all the 6 senses. Yes.
Am uitat în ultimele 5 minute.
Yes. So let's see. The auditive, which pretty much looks like the world-class logo to me. Yes. And let's see the auditive. So this is what you don't know what to do with your hands. Okay. We have the texture, which is this comforting moss. Yes, the nature, as I told you. Of course, the olfactive, which is this, where you can be swept away by these 90+ coffee beans. It's amazing. Panama Percy. Hello. Exactly. I'm a fan too. Okay, and the taste, which is this. Yes. The seaweed, Kempu, which led Kikune Ikeda in 1902 to discover our 5th taste, the umami taste, which leads us to 2 more senses. the sense of the visual sense and the sense of the mind. But I will talk that later. Basically, what we are trying to do is to make our guests more conscious of all the details that are working together in order to create an impression.
3 minute jumate.
Yes, so, for example, Zacapa creates an impression of luxury made by hardworking men with no compromise in order to obtain a phrase in your head when you are drinking it. I know it's an amazing rum, but relax, take it slow. So that's when you begin to understand the art of slow. Yes. So, in my belief, the best cocktail to truly greet and understand a brown spirit is an old-fashioned. So that's why I'm trying to recreate the flavors into Zacapa. Yeah, spice with notes of vanilla and chocolate. Yeah. And right now I miss my my buchum. Is it me you're looking for? Yeah. Okay. And I don't know if you know this, but buchum, as a regionalism, means wood or log, which are the exact aromas you can get from the nature, from the drink, and from the singleton as well. Okay. And now I'm going to use Romanian traditional straw that has been used for soups for centuries. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. So now, as my ancestors, yeah, my ancestors blessed my drink and this competition. Yes, I present to you my hometown drink, buchum. Buchum. Yes, buchum, which happens to be that one, buchum as well. Yeah. Okay. So right now, this is the one. I was telling you, leads us to two more senses. Yes, the visual sense and the sense of the mind.
Am intrat în ultimul minut, Emi.
Yes. So this is the sense of the visual sense. And the sense of the mind, as Buddhists, as Taoism says, is our conscience. Is the sum of all the five senses. Yes. Okay. Yes. So this is my drink. I love it how this white tea spirulina invites me to enjoy my drink. Please enjoy. Thank you.